Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Before we start, let me remind you that this webinar will be recorded, and if you have any problems with your audio or you cannot hear me well, or you have any problems with the platform, please type and describe your problem in the questions panel on your right side of the screen. So somebody from our company will help you with the problem. First, let me thank you all for being here in our presentation. As you can see in the screen, our topic today is a new way to access CHEMCAD. I'm gonna kick off the presentation. My name is Alejandra Peralta. I'm a Senior Technical Support Engineer with ChemStations. I have been working in process simulation for more than 16 years, pretty much all my career, and I'm a chemical engineer myself. Noelle?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Noelle Garza. I'm a technical specialist here at ChemStations, and that means I primarily help out the sales and marketing teams with any technical questions, technical work. I have a chemical engineering background. I started out in traditional process engineering, but really grew an interest and a love for process simulation specifically. So I moved into that route a few years ago.
Okay, and I'm going to start this webinar giving you a short story that happened in my life. When I was a student, I sat down to an exam and I learned I did not have my calculator with me. One of my classmates took it from me the day before that we were studying and forgot to give it back to me. I panicked for a little bit, but then I saw my friend on the other side of the classroom. And so that makes us think and realize that our industry has been doing this to you for a long time. And we have made you fight over who has the calculator and when, and who is allowed to use it. Today, in this webinar, we're going to talk about the old way to license our software and a new way to access CHEMCAD that might be a good alternative for you. This new way introduces the use of our program with a username model that can be run at any electronic device of your preference. So in this hour, we will cover the traditional access to get to our software on a seat-based license. Then we're going to discuss a new approach that we call name user license, which is completely optional. And we're going to discuss it later more in detail in this webinar. Then we're going to talk about the requirements, the technical requirements you need to run this approach, how this approach looks like from your user perspective, the benefits associated with this new approach. Then we're going to spend some time on discussing the engineering advantages of using our software. And at the end of our presentation, we're going to have time for Q&A. So if you have any question, please type it during this webinar, please type it in the question panel. And at the end of our presentation, we will check the questions and answer as many questions as we can. So let's talk about the traditional way to access engineering software. In general, when you want to work on a software or CHEMCAD, you install the program in a computer with a Windows operating system or a Windows environment. Then every time we release a new version of the program or a new patch, you need to reinstall the program. That means that you need to, most of the time, require IT assistance. Then you need to have access to the program, right? And the way that you have access to the program is by getting a license. All of us are familiar with the limitations of sharing a license for a software. Traditionally, engineering software is sold with the number of active licenses model. It is common that in a company you have more engineers working on with the software than the amount of active licenses you have. And this number of licenses will force, and traditionally force users to regulate the way that the software is used. Then you have to check if you have a license available. So starting in an engineering software doesn't mean that you're going to get a license. Sometimes you open the program and you find out that all licenses are taken. So if the license is taken and it's not available, you won't be able to work with the software. That reminds me on before I joined ChemStations, I was working for a service company, and I had a project due in a couple of weeks, and I had to get very early in the morning to get to the office and check out a license before anybody else, because I needed to finish my simulations on time. In some occasions where I couldn't get early, I even asked one of my colleagues to please open the software for me, so when I get to the office, that person can close the software and I could get a license just after. Or I have a list of like the different engineers that usually or had access to the software, so I could call them and beg them to close the program at least for a couple of hours so I could finish my work. So as you can see, like the number of licenses available and the amount of engineers, they are not always the same. So it's kind of sometimes a struggle to get access to the software. In this way, we would like to show you a new way to access the program. And this new way, in this new way, you can open the software and there is no need to ask somebody else to close it for you. So in this new way, you can run the most updated version of ChemCAD and you don't need IT involvement. You don't need to call IT and ask them to install the software. And you can have access to ChemCAD from any laptop, desktop, tablet, or mobile device as long as you have internet connection. Also, each user can access all the ChemCAD features at the same time, so that it won't be any fight for the license, or you don't have to call anybody to convince them to close the program, or figuring out who has it open so you can they can close it and you can open and get a license from it. You can also access to your simulation files from any device, and you can save your work and store it in the cloud. There is also an option to save your simulations in your local machine. So this sounds great, but what will be the requirements to do this? And there are only two simple requirements. You need access to internet, and you will need access to a web browser. It can be any browsers you like. It can be Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge, any web browser that you often use. And we recommend that you use a mouse with 2 buttons and scroll wheel, because you're going to be navigating into the software, and that gives you more independence of clicking the software or the things that you need in the software better. So now I will turn it over to my colleague, Noelle. She's going to show you how this option looks like.
Thanks, Ali. Okay, so CHEMCAD is going to be accessed through a web browser, and you log in with a personal username that your company, provided us an email address. And so this is what Alejandro was referring to as like the named user license. So that means you get your own username and your own password, and you're not tying up a seat, and everyone can run CHEMCAD at the same time. So this is what it looks like when you log in, and it should be familiar if you've used CHEMCAD before. It's the same look and feel as the desktop CHEMCAD, and we even include Excel in there for you because we know a lot of people use Excel and CHEMCAD concurrently. So let's go through a short demo of what it looks like when you log in and how to run CHEMCAD. So like I said, you start by opening your web browser. You go to app.datacore.com, and from here, you log in using that personal, your company email address and your personal password that you set up when you set up an account. Again, this is why we're referring to the license as named user, because this is associated with an individual account. So this will log you into the DataCore Cloud application. This is what the main DataCore Cloud account looks like. And we want to stream CHEMCAD, so we click here on this app streaming logo, and the CHEMCAD logo pops up. And so this is what we're going to click on to launch and stream CHEMCAD. And so that opens up CHEMCAD NXT. It's streamed to you as an 8-core virtual desktop in AWS. And this is a personal workspace, so all your customizations remain here when you are logging in, whether it's the first time and you want to, customize, color schemes or your custom unit settings, all that kind of stuff. So the next time you log in, that will be saved here to your personalized desktop. And one of those things is like using Excel as your personal report preferences. And so there's this bar at the top. You can choose Excel here, and you can open Excel and use it as you normally would, use Excel. It will pop up your Excel reporter if you like to use that as your reporting tool. Over here, this is My Files is basically a virtual file explorer. The default folder to save files into is called the home folder. And you can see the example simulation files that come with every installation of CHEMCAD are here. This is called the example NXT folder. I also added my own simulation files folder here to organize my saved simulations. And I added this with this add folder button, as you might have guessed. But I'm just going to open up my simulation files folder and show that I have some saved files in here already. But if I want to add a simulation file that's saved somewhere else, for example, like a coworker sent it to me, I just go to upload files and browse to where I want to upload this file from. This is my OneDrive desktop. And so I'm just going to grab this example here. So down here is the file I just uploaded. It's a heat exchanger example. Since CHEMCAD is already open, I'm just going to go back into CHEMCAD to open this file I just saved. I can open the simulation just the same way you would through your normal CHEMCAD workflow in the CHEMCAD ribbon. And so I have the open simulation shortcut pinned to the top of my ribbon, so I'm just going to use that. And I navigate to my simulation files folder where I stored my saved simulation. And I want to open this heat exchanger simulation example right here. Let's see. There it is. So if you've used CHEMCAD before, this should look very familiar. This is actually the latest version of CHEMCAD NXT 1.1.1, which was released a little over a month ago. So if you are not on the latest version yet, you might notice a few changes. This is the economics tab, might be a new feature to you if you haven't moved to NXT 1.1.1 yet. One of the great things about running CHEMCAD in this way is you always get the latest commercial version as soon as it's available. So it doesn't require really any effort on your part to get the latest version. So I'm just going to make a small change to this simulation. Maybe I just want to update the pressure for one of my streams, for example. Say we're increasing to 25 psi, and then we'll just run the simulation. So this is an 8-core machine. It should run things pretty quickly, and everything converged for the simulation. So now let's say I want to run a report and check out the results of my product streams, for example. So I go to reports and choose my product stream report. And I've set my default report viewer to create Excel reports. So I just wanted to demonstrate here that you can save your data outputs to Excel in the cloud, or use Excel to do simple calculations if that's something you do. You can just open Excel on its own without running a report and use Excel as you normally would. So when I click outside of the Excel report, you can see that the report that I generated disappeared from view. So we can toggle between open windows in the cloud using the switch windows button. And so it brings both the windows back. And I can go back to Excel. And I can also save this to my desktop and leave it here to access later, or I can download to my PC if I want. So again, I'm just going back to my files to save it to my home folder. And to download this file then, I need to go back to my files and browse to where I saved it in my virtual folder. There it is. And so then I choose download from the drop-down menu here. Yep. So anyway, that was a basic tour of what streaming CHEMCAD would look like and how it works. We wanted to make sure we kept the same interface and the workflow as the on-premises version of CHEMCAD, with a few variations for using this in the virtual environment. It should be a comfortable transition from the traditional access methods if you're a regular user of CHEMCAD. So we just really wanted to bring to our customers the same powerful process simulator with the same intuitive interface and just a flexible new way to access CHEMCAD. So in summary, if you or CHEMCAD users at your company just want to ease the burden of a middle person managing the software and worrying about licensing and updating servers or updating software versions, if you work from different devices and you want to be able to log in and run simulations from anywhere, from home computer, from work computer, tablet. One example I have is like when I was working, as a process engineer, and I would be stuck on a simulation. It wasn't converging. I'm trying to figure it out. So I have to go pick up my kids or go do something and leave work. And when on the way home, when I'm stuck in traffic, the solution hits me, and I'm like, if I need to change this, I need to do that. And so before you forget it, you can arrive home, quickly access it from your browser at home, on your home computer. You don't have to bring files with you, email yourself files or anything like that. It's all saved in the cloud, and you can access it through any device that has a web browser. and then you can just log back out and it'll be ready for you the next day when you arrive at work. So the other thing is you get access to all the features in CHEMCAD. So you can have the full suite, including Dynamics, CC Therm, and that new economics tool I showed you. You get access to all the latest bug fixes or new tools as soon as they're released. And we think that this is just a great flexible way that people can access CHEMCAD. And just to clarify, as Alejandra mentioned, it's just a new option available to you. We're not forcing anyone to this. It's just, we've heard some people had these pain points, and so we wanted to provide a new option for our customers. So offering this new option to run CHEMCAD is just a continuation of the same goal that ChemStations has had for the 30+ years that we've been offering CHEMCAD. We just want to supercharge engineers' efficiency with a powerful and flexible tool that's designed to fit into a modern chemical engineer's workflow. And so we continue to adapt how users approach the various engineering challenges, including modernizing how engineers can access CHEMCAD. And so given our partnership that we have with our customers through our support team, through our development team, it's been our priority to make sure that we're making your challenges our challenges. And when we get feedback from people about difficulty accessing licenses, or it would be nice to have this or that, and we have the technology available. So we just want to make sure that we're keeping up to date with meeting people's challenges and the way that chemical engineering is going with the vast amounts of technology out there. We're continuing to provide new ways for our customers to enjoy CHEMCAD in the best way possible, with the most technology possible, the most flexibility possible. And so that's what we wanted to present to you today. And we hope that some of you or all of you find that this will be a great fit for your needs. And if you think this is an interesting opportunity for you or your company, and you want to just try it out, you can contact us at sales@chemstations.com and we can get you set up with a demo. If you have any questions about this, feel free to contact us or contact your account manager with questions or to get a free trial. And so with that, that's the end of our presentation there, but we've saved quite a bit of time here at the end for questions and answers. As Alejandra mentioned, you can type a question into this questions box here, or if you want to let this saturate for a little bit and reach out to us later, that's fine too. We really depend on feedback from our customers to let us know how things are going, the needs you have, the pains you have. As I just mentioned, that's how we've been able to continue improving CHEMCAD and making sure that we're meeting the challenges of our customers, because our customers let us know what challenges they are having. So at the end of this webinar, which we really appreciate you guys attending and giving us your time and attention, we're also going to be sending out a poll in an email. And it's a short poll. There's only like 8 questions, I think. So if you don't find you have any questions here today, please send us your feedback through this poll or reach out to us with anything that comes to mind after you sit with us for a while and let it saturate a little bit. But okay, with that, Alejandra, maybe if you want to, have there been any questions popping up yet?
Yeah, we have a couple of questions here. Whitney has been responding some of those, but I'm just going to quickly review those questions. One of them is from Rose, and she's asking if she currently have 3 to 4 licenses, how that this might work and the cost. And Whitney respond that yeah, that's a very good question, but it will depend on you need to contact the sales representative to guide you and to tell you which would be better options for you, and depending on your needs. Also, Gabriel asked a question about the bandwidth required, and we have to say that if you are seeing in this webinar right now, you should not have problems running this new option that we presented today. If you have any concerns or other questions about it, please contact us, and we are willing to talk to you directly and offline. Another question, cybersecurity, if it's the same level as AWS, and if I save my project, yeah, the files will be saved in the cloud, but they can also be saved in your local machine. So how it works is that you run your simulation in the cloud, and then you can download it from there, and you can save it in your computer if that's the case. And the security, we partner with AWS. So for our application, so that ensures all the communication between your company and our servers remain confidential and secure.
Yeah, it's AWS servers, so it is the AWS security. Yeah, that's right.
And another question from Amanda Roberts. Can you collaborate on files in this cloud via a share folder, or do you have to save locally and upload? I think I answered that question. You cannot share. You cannot share in the cloud, but you can download it and then send it to your colleagues if you need to share them. And whenever you receive a simulation from a colleague, you can save it in your computer, upload it, and work with your simulation in the cloud. Another question from Rose. We would not want to save anything on this CHEMCAD website. If there's a way to save it locally, yes, you can save it locally. I just said that. You can download it to your computer. And if you don't want anything to be in the cloud, you just downloaded it, and then you might delete it from the cloud if that's the case. If another from Dave Gordon, if we have one seat site license, how does it work? Noel, do you want to respond that one?
Sure. Okay, so this is a different licensing method entirely. So when you have the seat license, it's shared among anybody who wants to access that license. The new method, if it fits for you, each person that would want to access a license gets their very own login information. So it's a named user licensing is different than this kind of seat-based licensing where people share it. So depending on how many people you expect to access CHEMCAD, you just provide their email addresses to ChemStations, and we set them up with their own account. So there's no sharing licenses.
Yeah, and related to that one, and from Dave Gordon as well, how do you find out who has the seat held? As we said at the beginning, there's the traditional way of getting licenses, and that's in that case you share your license, and you have to figure out who has the license. In this new approach, the license is yours. The license is for its username license, so it's individual license for you. So you don't have to find out who has the license. You will have a license for it as when you log in into the application. Another question from Jeff. How does he handle someone not logging out by shutting down their computer or putting a computer in sleep mode? When you log in into the application, you can work on it, and then if you are idle for more than an hour, it will log you out. So you have to make sure that you save your flow sheet if you don't want to have problems when you get back. This is for security reasons. We don't. So it's probably the same way that when you log in into your bank or you log in into any of the websites where like health insurance and that kind of websites. It is the same way that we do it here. As long as you are active working on the application, you can remove and add and run it and do whatever you want. But if you're idle for for more time than an hour, then it will log you out and you have to log in again.
I'll just add to that also, like let's say you lose internet access, internet goes out. It does it does have like an auto save functionality in there and that you can recover your work done. So as long as you have a file that you've created, like a saved simulation file, then it does the auto recover, the same as if, I know CHEMCAD doesn't crash very often, so maybe you've never experienced it before, but I have used this kind of cloud version of CHEMCAD and it like auto saves and I can easily recover and go back to if I had just accidentally closed the window, got logged out, lost internet, whatever, it saves your session.
Yeah.
If you had just started a simulation and it's like an untitled simulation file, it doesn't autosave that. So make sure when you start a new simulation, and this is the same way that CHEMCAD works, like on your desktop. If it's something you just started and it's not like a saved file, then it can't really recover it, right? So this is just like a virtual desktop, basically, with CHEMCAD on it. So CHEMCAD's going to work the same. It's going to auto save, auto recover your files for you, and when you log back in, it should bring up that simulation that you were working on when it was unexpectedly closed, let's say. Okay, sorry, Alejandra, go ahead.
Yeah, next question, I think you already answered if you lose data connection while working. Yeah, that's from Franco. Sandra Di Palma is asking, it says, thank you for the presentation. Is printing just as simple? Let me see. I'm not positive that we purchase all the tools in CHEMCAD. I'm not the point person. It is possible that we have to purchase all the tools. This is likely our largest hurdle to moving to this new platform that I can envision other than by person login is likely more expensive by the seat. In this platform, all the products are available, and the options we have for the pricing will depend on your needs, and you need to talk to your sales representative about that, about the options. Next is if we have our own user-defined unit ops, how can we use a web page version? You can use your own. You can use, if you have VBA, you can use VBA. For other customizations, it will work. But if you have questions about it, we prefer to talk to you offline because it would depend on your needs. David says, if any data is stored on the cloud for the new access method, yes. you will be storing in the cloud if that's your preference, but you can also save it locally in your machine. CJ is asking, would you email the attendee for a record for this webinar session?
The recording, yes. Yeah, we can email you the recording. I think the plan is to email everybody the recording when it becomes available.
Okay, David says that it supports single sign-on, which I guess he means single login.
I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the question, David.
We can get back with you.
Yeah, we can get back to you and talk to you about your questions later. Okay, Bruce, I missed the first 12 minutes of the webinar because GoToWebinar was having connection problems, which eventually resolved all by itself. Can I get access to recording? Yes, we're gonna send the record. Then, okay, Cindy answered this question. All calls being done by the cloud services or local machine. The calculations are performed in the virtual machine, which is in the app. And okay, Mr. Fraser, it is a fixed annual license cost per user or based on simulation minutes or some other way. I know we have talked to our sales representative, but will there be a short-term licenses available? For example, a 1-2 month license, extra help on big projects at a crucial time. Noel?
Okay, so it's the fixed annual license cost is per named user, and any more elaboration on that? It's not by simulation minutes, but yeah, we can provide better pricing information if you have like specific needs with how your licensing is set up. I know we have to talk to ourselves. Oh, short-term licensing. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's something. Talk to the sales manager about your specific situation, and they'll be able to provide more specific information to each person's needs, I guess. So that looks like everything.
Yeah, we don't have more questions. Something to add is that this application has been out for a couple months, and most of our, well, I would say all of our trials now, our trial users have been using the cloud version of the program. We're very confident that it runs as fast as CHEMCAD, so you won't see any difference in how CHEMCAD is run, and all the results and everything will be the same in the platform. Other questions that we have been asked in the past is where our servers are located, and the AWS servers are located here in the United States. Okay, we have another question. What should be done if there is a change in staff, such as new hire or someone has left?
Yeah. So then you need to contact your sales representative to get them a new login information. So if someone has left, we can close their account and we can get you a new named user for your new hire.
Yeah, for us, it's very easy to turn in and turn off the accounts for users, so it won't be a problem. And I don't see any other questions. Noel, do you have any additional comment?
Not really, and just again, would really appreciate if people could answer the poll when you see that email, and just so we can get feedback from people on your thoughts. And if you have anything that doesn't show up in the poll that you wanted to share with us, or questions that you have, we really, really appreciate your thoughts and your feedbacks. And that's what helps direct us into the future of CHEMCAD and the future of different licensing options. We don't know what to offer you until you tell us what you need. So if you have specific needs, if you have specific concerns, that helps us move in the right direction. We want our customers to be very happy and excited to use the software, and we want to make sure that we're meeting your challenges. And so please contact ChemStations with any feedback or input, or if you have any kind of hesitation or reasons why you're worried this might not work for you or something like that, just let us know that if you had XYZ, it would work better for me, and we might be able to offer that in the future, because we don't know that you need that until you tell us. So please, again, contact us with any of these questions or comments, and that really helps us out. And we're always happy to hear from customers, even if you just have something nice to say and you don't have a question. We want to know that you're happy or unhappy or have questions or anything like that. So, but yeah, thank you everyone for your time and for your questions. This has been really good and informative for us to see what kind of questions you guys have. And please contact us.
Yeah, and in addition, I have to add that we in the support side, we will be supporting this platform as well as the traditional way of running ChemCAD. So as Noel said, if you have questions, please reach out, and we will try to answer all your questions and your comments. Thank you very much for attending. And have a good day.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.